Welcome to Learn Python with Pythoneer. Myself Vishab Sood, and today we are going to learn class, constructor and garbage collection in Python. So if I talk about class, basic introduction of class is done with the help of abstraction as well as the encapsulation. And class provides a means of bundling data and functionality together. Creating a new class creates a new type of object, allowing new instances of that type to be made. Each class instance can have attributes attached to it for maintaining its state. Class instances can also have methods for modifying their states. Basically, class is the bundling of data, and data contains data members as well as methods and attributes. So if you want to access those members as well as the attributes, you have to create object of that class, and you can call any data member or methods of that class using the object. Key points about that class are: classes are created by keyword classes. Attributes are the variable that belongs to a class. Attributes are always public and can be accessed using the dot. So whatever you are defining inside the class, especially in Python, it will be treated as a public variable by the interpreter. Now moving to the constructors. What are constructors? Basically, in general terms, constructors are the methods that initialize the data member's value whenever the object is created. So you don't need to call the constructor with the help of dots using the objects. It is already invoked whenever you are creating the object of then any class. Constructors are used to initialize the object state like methods. A constructor also contains a collection of statements that are executed at the time of object creation. It runs as soon as an object of class is instantiated. The method is useful to do any initialization you want to do with your object. Moving to the third item, that is garbage collection. And what is garbage collection? Actually, it is the method, or we can say the process of collecting unused memory from your system where your program is running. Basically, in modern languages, garbage collection is done automatically. That means you don't need to worry about the garbage collection or the memory occupation or allocation. If I talk about the introduction, Python memory allocation and deallocation method is automatic. The user does not have to pre-allocate or deallocate memory, similar to using dynamic memory allocation in languages such as C or C++ that is already collected. But sometimes it becomes necessary to call garbage collection manually so that program can be made more efficient and more memory friendly. It is the time to switch to Visual Studio Code and see how we can define class, how we can define constructors, and how we can call garbage collection manually whenever required. Here I have my class dog, and if I talk about the attributes, these are the attributes, means the variables, and these are the functions. And this is the predefined keyword in Python for defining the function. And we can call the object of that class. Once we are creating the object of that class, we can use method or any data members of that class. So for this demo, let's navigate to our own screen and define our methods. So here I have a dog class, same. I have a dog class, same, and we have attributes mammal attribute 1. I can say attribute 1, attribute 2 is equal to dog. And if I talk about self dot, we can say we can define self dot attribute 1, and we can print this in this function print self dot attribute 1. So this is the general introduction, that we have a class, we have a methods, and these are the variables. And what we are trying to do in this method, we are just trying to call this attribute 1 value and trying to print it. So the basic structure of this class is this one. We have defined our class with the help of class keyword. Now it is time to create the object of this class. So I have, let's make it obj doc is equal to doc. So I have created the object of this class. So it would be doc caps, and if I obj doc and if I press doc, then you can see it is providing me attribute 2, attribute 1, as well as the bark. So everything can be accessed with the help of object. So if I talk about doc.bark and save it, if I run it, then you can see it will print mammal. Here we have output, that is mammal. So if I talk about attribute, if I change it here to attribute 2, it will print dog. Here you can see. So basic, what we are trying to do, we are just trying to create the class, and we are defining the attribute, and we have to define the object of that class. And once the object is created, we can access each and every member function inside that class. Now moving to the constructors, how we can define the constructors. As we have told that constructors can be defined with the help of init jumbled keywords defined in Python. So if I create, it would be again def a double underscore is underscore no, so yep, init, I think it would be this, and we can define here it is same. Yep, so we are doing this right, self, and we can define one variable as a name. And what we can do, because it is used to initialize, so we can do self dot name, self dot name is equal to name. What we have done, we have just defined the constructor. This is the syntax of define the constructor. So whenever you are writing this, like this statement def, that means functions. Constructors are also functions, and we are defining in Python, you are defining with this keyword, then interpreter will take it as a constructor. So here we have defined, and we have told that constructors are used to create the object, is to initialize whenever we have creating the object of that class. So this is the constructor, and now you can see the interpreter will change it. So we have defined Nikhil, and if I talk about another function def say hi, say underscore hi, we can define self. So we can define that, so I can print I can print hello, and I can define self dot name. make sure that you don't have any problem, that means the syntax error. So what we and since we have created the object, so obj dog dot say hi. So how it will work, let me explain you. So we have defined the initial constructor. So whenever we will create the object of this class, that means object dog Nikhil, then it will pass this Nikhil to this, and then this member would be initialized. So we can define name is equal to empty string here. So what it will do, it will pass this name to this variable. It means the Nikhil will pass to this name variable, and whenever we are trying to access this name variable, then it will, because it is initialized to name, that is Nikhil, then it will, when wherever this self dot name will be called, it will pass to the Nikhil. So if I comment it and just run say hi, you see we have output as a hello Nikhil. That means this function say hi, because we have initialized this Nikhil whenever we are trying to create that object. So that is the real purpose of constructors. Whenever we have to initialize any data members, that is, there is a requirement for initializing any data members whenever an object is created, then constructors are the best choices. Moving to the third item, that is garbage collection, and we already explained that it is all automatically called inside the Python. You developer don't need to worry about the garbage collection or unused memory. Python interpreter is smart enough to call garbage collection, but sometimes it is important to do the collection. So how we can do that? So it can be done in two ways. Either you can assign the null to the existing object that you are not going to use, because null doesn't point to any location in the memory, and second, you can call garbage collection manually by using garbage collection import statement. So if I talk about first, that is pointing the object to the null value. So for that we have a use keyword as a del and obj dog. So what it will do, it will call this, it will set value to object towards null, and if I run it, you have see it is defining as the name object is not defined, because we have deleted this object from the memory. Now sometimes you have to do the garbage collections, means the memory should be reallocated. It is pointing to the null, but it is not reallocated to another object. So for that, you have to call this garbage collection manually. And how you can do that? You can call the import statement, import gc, that is garbage collection package, and it is very simple. So you can do that. Let me comment it. And how you can do that, you can define any variable gc collect is equal to gc dot would be that variable gc dot collect, yep, this one. Okay, and if I just want to print how many items it has called, so this is the, we can use this statement here. It would be gc dot collected. So what we have done, we have just used this let me clear it. So what we have done, we have used this garbage collection manually by using garbage collect import statement. And once you are with gc, that means you have to collect your memory. So if I talk about, so what it is going to print, it will print as one object because it will collect the unused obj doc. So it has used 0 collected because the object is being collected and it is not destroyed. So in this way we can call this manually. In short, what are different ways of doing garbage collection? That is time based. You can call garbage collection on the timely basis on fixed time interval so that the memory is deallocated or reallocated on the fixed time intervals. And event based. So suppose you have a requirement that whenever object or user clicks on this object, then the memory collection takes happens, then you can call on the event base using garbage gc import statement, that is gc package, and in that package you can have a different types of functions. So as a summary of this section, what we have learned about classes, we have used constructors, and constructors are used to initialize the data members as well as the variables whenever the object is being created. And how we can define, the object constructor in Python using double underscore and init double underscore keywords, predefined keywords in Python, and interpreter regard as it as a constructor. After that, we gone through the garbage collection, that how we can point any object to the null pointer, or if we have to deallocate or reallocate, we can call garbage collection manually, that is by using import gc. And gc package provides various methods like collect count for garbage collection process in Python. Keep learning. See you in our next session.